Welcome to I Said No Gifts. I'm Bridger Winegar. We're here in the studio. Annalise, our producer, is not here. They've cooked up some sort of some excuse. I don't know. I hung up the phone before they could lie to me. I can't deal with it, but they're not here. And, you know, hopefully they can figure it out. So I'm just flying free and loose here. What's going on? Most of my life now is just watching Little House on the Prairie. That's most of my days and nights. The Ingalls family has kind of settled into their life. I've read some behind the scenes. You know, it didn't seem like it was that pleasant of a place to work, unfortunately. So it adds another dimension to watching the show. It occurred to me last night that I've been shopping for a lamp for 5 years and still have not bought one. I think that's the one piece of furniture I'm just really not capable of buying. So if you have any tips or tricks, keep them to yourself. Is there anything else? I experienced a little bit of parking rage this morning. Blinding rage. I apparently there's something about someone in a Volvo crossover that just really taking their time sets me off. But I didn't act on it. I'm coming down from that. I have not had my Baby Bell cheese, which is usually pretty grounding for me. Business. We're coming to Chicago May 23rd. The Den Theater. Go to thedentheater.com or just find it online. I'm not going to hold your hand. And Patreon continues to exist. Patreon.com/ISaidNoGifts. What a lovely way to support the podcast. You know, this is a business ultimately, and we're business partners. And so I need you to keep up your end of the bargain, ultimately. So go over there. We have the bonus episodes, all kinds of things. It's a wonderful time. Okay. Let's get into the podcast. I adore today's guest. Everybody loves today's guest. It's Tim Heidecker. Tim, welcome to I Said No Gifts.
So not true. I have so many enemies. How could you're starting off in such a disingenuous place? It's unbelievable.
Oh, give me a break.
But
give me a break.
I am so excited you brought up Little House on the Prairie. I don't know if you did research on me. No.
Do you watch it?
I used when I was a kid, when I was like even into, I mean, I knew it from when I was a kid, but in high school, my sister and I religiously watched it.
Oh, you're kidding.
After school, the reruns.
Right.
Loved it. And I might go back and do a rewatch.
When was the last time you saw it?
Many years ago, but I could picture every frame. I know all the characters. I love that show. And do you know do you know the story about the ending of the show? Because I want to ask.
I don't, because my boyfriend keeps hinting at you won't believe what happened.
Oh, do you not want me to tell you?
I mean, what do you think? I mean, this is the thing about the show.
It's a very fun Hollywood story.
Okay, then I guess I should know.
Yeah, you should know. I'm sorry to your boyfriend for ruining it. You will eventually know this. I think it's true. So at the very end of the show.
Okay.
Am I okay to go here?
Yes, you're absolutely okay to go here.
At the very end of this show's been on for, it's like...
Goes for 9 seasons.
Okay, is that it?
Over 200 episodes.
But it feels much longer because you see like Half Pint and all the family grow up
I assume,
from 9-year-old to like adults.
Right.
So it's on for a long time, and the show comes to an end. And I think the last episode of the show is some railroad company or some outside force buys Walnut Grove.
Sure. Walnut Grove, I believe.
Walnut Grove.
Walnut Creek, I think, is a real place.
Okay, Walnut Grove. And the town doesn't like it. It means they're going to have to change. Something's going to happen. They decide that they are going to dynamite the entire town. They're going to.
That's the final episode?
Yeah, they're going to, out of spite, they are going to blow up the town.
Oh, the citizens.
The citizens.
Oh, good for them.
And but it also feels kind of like the opposite of the ethos of the show.
Completely.
You know?
I mean, just something happening is the opposite of the show.
Yeah. Well, if we can't have this, no one can. And what I learned is that it was actually the production that said we have to tear all these sets down.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
Let's
just do it on camera. Yeah. That's so wild.
It's just such a bummer of a way to end that because that show's so wholesome
it's
and
so
about
sweet.
Yeah, it's about learning lessons about how to behave and do right by people and stuff. And
So do you see the town get blown up on the show?
yeah, the very last episode. This is a memory. It could be. I hope it's. I mean, I'm sure your audience will correct me or you if it's incorrect, but I think that's how it went down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to get to that in
It's
like
worth
10 years.
Yeah.
200 episodes of they're like over an hour each of them.
Yeah. No.
And it feels over an hour sometimes.
Yeah. I remember them getting trapped in a mine.
Oh, okay.
I remember the classic Albert. Albert was like the adopted son who comes a little later. He gets addicted to opium, so there's like a drug episode. You know, the network was like, we need a drug.
How do we fit this into Pioneer Times?
Yeah. And Pa had to like he cold turkeyed with him, so he like got him. It was like I just remember sweat. I remember vomit. I just like it's like early memories of the world are through the lens of Little House on the Prairie.
Wow, I didn't realize it got so tough on it.
It's hard out there in the prairie.
I think we're only 9 episodes in.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You have such a journey ahead.
I mean, it was shocking to me. I think I purposefully avoided it as a kid because growing up in Utah, you were just like kind of there was an overflow of like pioneer stories, and it felt like watching that would be like going to church essentially.
Yeah. And are they remaking it?
I think so. I was just talking to my sister on the phone, and she said, "Oh, you know, they're remaking that." So who knows?
And your sister is the chief
she's
executive
the EP.
of Netflix or whatever.
She's kind of taken the reins. No, but we watched the pilot, and it's like I think it's like 2 hours or something. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
And the things the family goes through. It's just like
I'm going to go. Where is it? Where can you watch it?
I think it's on Amazon.
Okay.
And so far we haven't encountered a commercial, which has been nice.
That's nice.
I'm sure that'll blindside us at some point. But what a show! And who would have thought the Ingalls were going to be such a pleasant time to watch?
Oh yeah, and Michael Landon's always crying
or looking for an opportunity not to wear his shirt.
Yes, shirt.
I didn't realize it was to be so
no
sexy.
No shirt, but suspenders.
Suspenders.
Woo. Tell you, it's amazing I came out a straight man.
Yeah, it's amazing I came out gay not having seen the show.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I'm going to double down now.
Yeah.
It's But I'm thrilled that you watched the show.
Yeah, and then I had to. Then you have to. After that, you have to watch Highway to Heaven.
What is that?
Highway to Heaven. So it's Michael Landon's second show, second big show that he did with the guy from his friend on Little House on the Prairie, the guy with the beard.
Oh, the guy. His name's Victor French.
Yeah, Victor French.
Yes.
Yeah, Victor French.
Incredible.
I remember that name. Victor French teams up with Michael Landon for Highway to Heaven, which I believe is. I didn't see much. I didn't watch a lot of Highway to Heaven, but it was. I think Michael Landon's an angel who's has stuck back on Earth, has to do good deeds to get back to heaven.
He has to earn his way back into heaven.
Yeah, I think so.
Sing for his supper.
And Victor French is like a truck driver that he keeps running into. You got to watch it if you watch Little House, you got to keep going.
Do you think did that show go very long?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Probably long enough. It got into syndication probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like a one and done kind of deal.
And is he in like communication with God throughout, or is it kind of stranded on Earth, exiled?
You know what? I couldn't tell you. We'd have to pull up an episode, which I'm happy to do if you want to.
Just watch a whole episode of Highway to Heaven right now.
Yeah.
It feels like Victor French's role in all of these Landon programs is to kind of just randomly show up.
Yeah.
The episode we're watching right now of Little House, they needed a babysitter because the Ingalls parents are going on holiday, and they need a babysitter.
Where are they going?
They're
going to Europe?
They're going to Tahiti. No, they're going to some other town. He has to drop something off, but he's treating it as they keep saying holiday.
They're going to get away to St. Louis or something.
Yes, exactly. But the first night of their holiday is them sleeping on the ground in front of a fire. So I guess that's kind of the getting away for them. But the babysitter gets a sore throat and can't babysit.
Which in those days means you eventually die.
She'll probably be dead by the end of this episode. And then here comes Victor French just kind of stumbling into town. Oh, you need a babysitter.
Right.
Here I am. The kids love me.
That's cute.
But what a show. I can't recommend it enough. And there's nothing else for me to watch on TV right now.
I might be with you. I might be joining you.
Tough time. What have you been up to?
Well, I have 2 kids.
Sure.
I tend to spend a lot of time with them, go to their baseball games. I'm a big baseball fan, so I watch a lot of
Right. Are you involved?
Watching the Dodgers or watching any baseball team, if you're really into it, ends up taking up a lot of your time.
It's a kind of a job.
Yeah,
How many
it's
games?
it's on almost every day.
Do they play every day?
They play like 4 days a week or 5 days a week.
That does feel wild to
and
me.
their games are like 3 or 4 hours long.
Yeah, so that's almost a career.
It's my part-time job, yeah.
How are they doing?
They're doing okay, but they're not doing as good as they should be doing if you're looking at the stats and the numbers and stuff. And this the NL West, which is the division they're in, is very competitive at the moment. The Padres and the Giants are doing very well as well, so it's exciting, I guess. What else? Free time. I don't know. I run, I like, that's what I do in the morning.
Have you been a runner jogger your whole life?
It fits and starts, but I've kind of in the past few years gotten into like pretty much every day.
Wow.
Like took a way to start the day.
How far are you jogging, running?
3 miles.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. And I live on a hill, so I run halfway down and then halfway up. I mean, I run all the way down and then half of the way back up.
Okay, and then walk.
Then do a walk the rest of the way uphill.
That sounds nice.
So it's just like
Did you have to build up to that?
I need to actually push it to the next level because I've been stationary. I've been at that level for a couple of years.
Right.
I want to get muscles. You got muscles. How do I get muscle? Because I go to the gym sometimes and I lift weights, but they never turn into muscles.
I kind of do an extreme thing.
Okay. I'm looking to do extreme things.
This is the thing I do is I go to this small gym in Silver Lake that's run by a husband and wife team. They're lovely, and you go for a half hour. And they put you through, I mean, it's kind of up to you. They give you like a list of exercises to do, and like you're supposed to do 5 sets of each of them or whatever.
Right.
And you just do as much as possible. And so I walk away probably every other time dry heaving.
Really?
It's very not pleasant.
Yeah.
But it's the only – I had never worked out before.
Right.
And so this is just how I've learned to exercise.
Right.
And the nice thing is it's a half hour.
Yeah,
so it's like
it's your in and out. Yeah.
Right. Because if I go to a gym just by myself, I'm kind of wandering
I know. That's
around.
what I do. I go to this gym I go to and I just pick up things and do the same thing and I don't push it really. I don't know. I'm always, it'd be interesting to have a bunch of muscles.
Go way too far with it. No, when I go to a regular gym, I'm so insecure because I don't know how to work out without someone kind of at least keeping an eye on me.
Right. Well, so these people are doing that?
Sort of. I think at max there are probably 7 people in the gym at once. And so the 2 people wander around, and if you're doing something wrong, they'll tell you.
Wow.
And you can ask them questions.
But it's not a set time.
No, you have to make an appointment.
Oh, you do?
You do have to make an appointment. And it's but they're great. They're wonderful. I'm suspicious. Miranda July has this new novel out.
Yeah, my wife read it. But everybody, all the women in my life read it.
Of course. Every woman I've ever met has read this book.
I'm watching baseball.
Yeah, of course. She got the game on.
Yeah. She's over there reading her lady books.
But in this book, it's set in eastern Los Angeles. The protagonist lives probably in Silver Lake.
Right.
She ends up going to this gym in a basement run by a husband and wife team.
Oh.
And I have to imagine this is the gym.
I used to live in Silver Lake, and I went to that very gay gym.
Oh, what's this?
The very gay.
Is it Pharaoh's?
It's like
that's the gayest gym I can think of.
It's right on that main drag.
Interesting. I'm trying to think of what that would be.
It's because that is like a traditionally gay area of Los Angeles, right? But like back in the day when it was like there were actual, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Pockets of communities.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it feels like it doesn't matter.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't matter. But this felt like real like muscle men, village people style guys working out.
Totally.
Guys working out in leather kind of. I went to that gym for a while.
But that was like a traditional gym. There wasn't a husband and wife.
Yeah, it was not a husband. No, only husbands.
Pure husband material.
But I had a trainer, and I didn't like that experience.
You don't like being told what to do?
Well, I didn't like the chit chat. I didn't like the small talk as we were working out. So, what'd you get up to this weekend? I don't know, man. I don't really want to check it. I I don't know.
The chit chat at my gym is limited to almost exclusively what we're watching on TV, and they have good taste in TV.
Okay.
So there's just a lot of me complaining to them and them complaining back, and it feels good. The place I don't like to chit chat is my haircut, and this has been a weird thing actually, where my barber doesn't talk to me at all, and my boyfriend has started going to the same person and apparently has these long conversations with him. I don't know if I'm so off-putting as a person that he doesn't want to talk to me, or if he's
resting and interesting.
But he comes back and my boyfriend's talking about everything with this person.
Now
I have no complaints. I don't want to talk.
Right.
But I'm feeling left out.
Yeah, I could feel. I imagine you would. Now this sounds hacky. I always worry about this sounding hacky, but it's true. It's very true.
I think true things are
sometimes
often
hacky. But I get it I get the small talk at the dentist.
Oh, sure, of course.
And I got So how are the kids doing? Like I can't believe it's happening when it's happening. Like you don't. It's fine.
Right.
You guys have plans over the summer? Oh, I was trying to think what we're gonna do.
To me, if I'm the hygienist or the dentist, I'm never getting clear answers from the patient. Like I would eventually be like, I'm just not going to ask them. I'm not having a healthy conversation with them.
Yes, and maybe do it before you get the stuff in the mouth. And
then just catch up real
quick as a icebreaker or whatever. But
I wonder if it's just because it's such an intimate thing. They feel like
the whole thing is awkward. Can you imagine? You're a dentist, and you're like, or a dental hygienist. And thank God there are people that are willing to do it, but just in people's mouths and scraping away.
Oh, awful. My problem with my dentist is they've installed some of those overhead lights that are kind of a bluish.
Yeah.
And I can't, they give me migraines. I have to wait outside of the waiting room until they let me in.
Really?
And I don't have the heart to tell them, just, would you get something, a warmer light?
Right. Well, can you wear certain glasses?
Maybe I should wear sunglasses.
Because they give me sunglasses at my dentist.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like tinted lenses? Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But see, this is when I'm in the waiting room.
Even in the waiting room, it's a problem.
Yeah, I think it's almost worse. So I don't know how to approach that.
I would approach it.
And it's hard to find a good dentist, and I like this person.
I do have a great dentist, but I would just talk to them about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just leave an anonymous Yelp review or something.
well, I mean, this is not something that they can change. You mean the blue lights in the waiting room?
In the waiting room. It's almost that like they're like LED lights or whatever, and they obviously just put no thought into like which bulb they should buy. And so they're blinding, really blue. And if you wait too long, I guess I'm too sensitive.
Maybe you treat it like empathy towards the person that is in the reception.
Oh, that's a great.
Oh my goodness, how do you deal with these lights all day long?
That's such a good way to approach this. I'm worried about you.
Right.
I'm fine with it. But
yeah. I do have a problem with the daylight lights being used in interiors. Do you know how that's been going on lately?
No, I'm not familiar.
So there's like color temperatures for different kinds of lights, and this would be like the lights here, like an indoor tungsten light.
Okay,
as opposed to a daylight. And a daylight light feels like you're in outside.
Right. Too bright.
It's too bright, but also it has a temperature to it, a color to it that is like whiter, I guess you'd say.
Right.
And a lot of times people, especially in Airbnbs or hotels, they will put in daylight bulbs on interior lamps, and it's hard. You'll know it. It's like bathroom lighting in your living room. Or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's so bright. It's so you can see every pore.
Yeah,
which you just don't need
in living
spaces.
Yeah. Living spaces.
Well, speaking of unpleasant things and things that I don't want to deal with, I was excited to have you here today.
Thank you. We've met a couple
of times. We've spent enough time together that I thought we would have a nice time. We would chat, move on with our days. The podcast is called I Said No Gifts. I assume at least one email was sent to you with the title. I would hope. I hope that someone within this production is a professional. So I was a little thrown when you walked into the studio holding what couldn't more clearly be a gift. This beautifully wrapped, kind of book-sized gift. It's got kind of a Santa Claus, very cute little illustration. Is that a gift for me?
It is. I apologize if it sets you off or anything, but I thought it was sarcastic or ironic of a title. Like,
okay. Oh, right,
I just didn't.
Right.
I mean, I think I don't. I'm not a gift giver.
Okay.
I don't. It's my wife's department.
Right.
I'm not a guy that likes to introduce more waste into this world.
Sure.
Most of the people I know have everything they want.
Right.
And if they don't, they should be able to get it whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And
you surround yourself with people who are just kind of living.
Simple people.
Okay, sure.
Simple people. So this was an interest. So I saw the email. I said, well, this is an interesting challenge for me to see if I can embrace the idea of giving. I don't even know how to wrap presents, and I figured it out.
You did a nice job.
This isn't the best back here, but
it's better than I could have done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that.
The corners are so clean. My corners with a gift wrapping, they're always kind of puffed out or too much tape on them.
Right. But I in the spirit of not wasting, I got you something that I don't think involved any waste.
Oh, okay.
So if you will accept it, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Should I open it here on the podcast?
Is that how you do it? I mean,
maybe we'll make an exception today.
Okay.
Okay, let's. Ooh, crispy. Okay, so it is a book.
It is a book.
It's a book. Songs of the Doomed with an introduction by you, written by Hunter S. Thompson. Oh.
So I want you to read the inscription in the.
Okay. Let's see.
Is that what it's called? An inscription?
Let's see. This is Bridger. They sent me 6 copies of this book. Hope you can read.
Well, it looks like you can.
Yeah, I can't back out now. I can't lie about reading. And love, Tim.
Yeah.
They sent you 6 copies of this book.
Right, because I wrote the introduction.
Right.
And what am I going to do with 6 copies of the same book? I don't need 6 copies.
It's a weird thing for the publisher to do. Is this to pump up the sales numbers?
I don't know, but now I have 5 copies, which is too much.
Right.
As well. I don't know if you consider a re-gift or whatever, but I'm offloading some stuff. So you're doing me a favor as well.
Hate to hear it. Well, this is a weird position that they've put you in, because if you were to just drop them off at Goodwill, that's keeping people from buying the book.
Right.
If you were to give them to friends, it feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine. Is it a thing you leave on the table in case somebody comes over and they say, "Hey, I'd like a copy"?
No, I don't. I have a bookshelf and I have 6 copies of that book on it. Now I have 5.
What are you possibly supposed to do with this?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't read it, but
How
yet
did you get involved with this?
And I wrote the introduction. The publisher wrote me and asked me to write the intro. No, I did read some of it.
Okay.
It's a collection of some of his writings from various points of his life.
Right.
And I mean, I grew up reading Hunter S. Thompson and knew enough about him to and he said, just write a couple of pages about Hunter S. Thompson and how you feel about him.
Right.
I said, that's cool. I'll do that.
Have you I assume you've talked about this publicly, about Hunter S. Thompson at some point. It wasn't just a wild swing by the publisher.
No, I think he knew me in general as from my podcast and from whatever. He probably just said, he might have asked, are you a fan of Hunter S. Thompson?
Right.
Would you be interested?
And then was it difficult writing the intro?
Let me see.
I feel like that's high stakes.
No, I don't. I couldn't imagine. I don't think it was very difficult. It was really only this is page 1 of it. This is page 2 of it, and we're done. That's what he said. He goes, we only need whatever the number is.
It's a very short intro, which I appreciate because what is
there to say?
When there's an intro in a book, I usually skip it because it's like, a full chapter, and I'm like, well, let me just read the book. I don't need anyone else's opinion right now.
No, yeah.
And I don't want to waste any more time. Yeah. I'm already wasting time reading. So why would I possibly do that? But this feels like this is a low pressure intro.
There's no excuse to not read my intro.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing if you don't. You should almost read it by accident.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
And then there's always an intro, and then there's a preface.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
And an author's note. and an editor's note in this one.
Oh, my goodness.
So they've gone too far.
I also love when they say editor's note, and then it's like 3 pages. Like, it should be just like, I hope you enjoy the book.
Yeah. The editor's just stepping in and giving themselves a few pages.
So you know, we went to great lengths to make sure that the work we did was at the highest level of quality. Like,
at this point, you've already got the reader hooked. You've got them to either buy or get it at the library.
What could the damn editor have to say? Shortly before this book went to press, we were stunned and profoundly demoralized by a news book that had been seized. I don't know. What? Anyway. And then you got quotes from other books.
I know, it's too much.
I always like the quote from other books. I don't know. Okay.
Setting a tone.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Who is this one from?
George Barker, Sacred Elegy 5, 1943.
Oh.
Fiend behind the fiend, behind the fiend, behind the fiend. All right. Well, I guess I'll go read that. I also kind of threw him under the bus here a little bit, I think.
Really?
Well, because then you read more, like I think my point was like, when you're in high school, there's something cool about Hunter.
Of course.
It's very cool. Then you get older and you're like, well, this is no way to live. There's no way to behave.
It's a bad life.
You're like doing all these drugs and
irresponsible,
shooting stuff and not doing your work.
No one can count on you.
Yeah, I know.
And everybody, for whatever reason, it's working.
Yeah, and you're getting rewarded by your bad behavior.
He should have been jailed.
Yeah.
He should have been imprisoned. No, I never read Hunter S. Thompson, and I think then got to a point where it's like, well, now it's too late. And I feel like it is the sort of thing where like the seeds need to be planted early, so like...
Yeah.
I wonder if he would annoy me now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's where I think, you know, the big ones are, well, they're exciting to read.
Right. I feel like he's probably... It's one of those like...
But it's of its time as well, and a lot of it was very contemporary, writing about Nixon or whatever was going on in the country at that time. That feels like it must have been really exciting to read in the moment as it's happening.
But I'm sure a lot of those things still apply now.
They do as well, yes.
Obviously. But interesting. Do you feel like this is a good starting point for me to start reading Hunter?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean... This is his stuff from the 90s, you know?
Oh,
It's like my first Rolling Stones record is Bridges to Babylon or something.
You don't associate him with the 90s at all. I mean, what is he writing about in the 90s?
Well, that's when he kind of moved to Colorado and was like living off the grid and stuff and hanging out with Johnny Depp. Yeah. You know what? Dive in. Maybe it'll be right up your alley. Start with the introduction.
No, I'm trying to think of, I guess, Fear and Loathing.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
That feels like a good...
Then Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail, 1972, the McGovern campaign. Look at me. I'm so smart.
I know. I'm trying to give you opportunities. Are you reading anything right now?
Ooh. What am I reading right now? I've been doing a lot of audiobooks. Does that count? That counts, right?
I think that counts.
The Room to Dream is this... biography / memoir of David Lynch.
That sounds nice.
Great. The premise of this book is they have every chapter, you know, let's say they're talking about Twin Peaks. So the chapter on Twin Peaks is read by the author of who's writing like a biography, you know.
Right.
He met him and this is how that happened and all that stuff. And then after that chapter, David jumps on. I remember that was the first time I worked with so-and-so, and it really was something else. And we didn't get all of it the first day, but I dropped my impression. But I was there for a second. And then it's his perspective on that period.
Is there any, like, him correcting the record or anything?
No, but it does have that feeling of not something he's reading. It feels like... He's just on the mic.
Rambling. That's what he should be.
Yeah, totally.
He's such an entertaining person to just hear talk.
The other one that was like that I recently had read was Al Pacino's memoir.
Oh, does he read the whole thing?
Yes, and it's the best. And it does feel like he's either reading it for the first time and finding out about it for the first time, or he's remembering and kind of he keeps talking about losing, and then I lost all my money. I ran out of money. What are you going to do? And I had to do an Adam Sandler movie. But it's great. I loved him so much more than I already loved him after reading that.
He's an incredible person.
He really is. And what's funny is like there's this perception of him as like this tough guy, you know, Scarface, Godfather. And he's like a wacky art guy, you know?
Oh, interesting.
Real wacky, he's a New York theater
actor
guy who's not tough at all. But anyways, it's a very, very good memoir. Maybe one of the best actor memoirs I've ever read.
Was there any like shocking fact you learned or anything interesting?
No, I don't remember anything.
I mean, that's such an unfair question for me to ask.
I mean, the funny shit was like towards the end where he's got all these kids and he's got all these ex-wives and he's like spending money like a madman. But just because I don't know, he told one story about like flying to London on a private jet and taking a whole floor of some hotel, and then he has like all these cell phones that he's paying for, and then like meanwhile his business manager's been like ripping him off for 10 years, and he's finding out about that, and he's like, I don't have any money, I don't know what to do, but then I get another job and the money comes in. But he's like, you realize like sometimes these old guys like, their expenses are through the roof because they've been used to living like kings in the 70s and 80s.
So many family members who are used to a certain lifestyle who are probably creating new expenses all the time. Wow. Yeah, I can't getting to that age and still worrying about like, oh my God, I'm out of money. I can't imagine.
I know. I can't believe personally have like worked myself into this life where I'm like, you know, don't think about it, but then here I am at almost 50 and being like, I have 2 kids, and I'm like, I'm doing well, but there's no guarantees.
No, especially in this horrible business.
Yeah, the business is changing so dramatically. You know, occasionally these jobs come in. It's like, oh, that's nice. That's a lot of money. Wow. Why would they pay me that much money? But then you're like, man, that might be the last time that ever happens. And then what do I fucking do?
But I think the thing you have going for you is you lead a pretty stable, reasonable lifestyle.
Yes, it's true. It is true. My expenses are fairly reasonable, and I have no boats or anything.
Right. I don't foresee you making any giant swings where it's suddenly like you're just out of control. And
yes, it's true. I'm very conservative.
Scrambling that way. Wow, Al Pacino. I need to read that. So you're reading the book. I've already forgotten what book you're. Oh, the David Lynch.
Yeah, I haven't really gone into like novel world in a while. I feel bad about that. I think
it's reading nonfiction is easier.
Yeah, I enjoy hearing about real people.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know.
If you're gonna make stuff up, I'll watch it as a TV show or a movie. Or if the book is so good, they'll make it into a movie.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, fiction more and more, I'm like getting halfway through a novel and being like, I'm not enjoying myself and I'm not learning. Whereas if I'm not enjoying a piece of nonfiction, I'm like, I can be like, well, at least new facts are entering my brain that I could eventually share on a podcast or this kind of thing.
Yeah, or dinner conversation.
Dinner conversation. That's my entire life now. It's just trying to think of new things that I can share with friends.
Right.
What else could I possibly
That they don't want to hear about.
That they absolutely want nothing to do with. And then they'll kind of say the same things back to me, and we'll go home.
Yeah.
I'm reading about Facebook right now.
Oh.
And
is there a new book of that?
I think it might be new. It's called Careless People.
From an insider's perspective?
Yes, this woman who was in charge of pushing it into new countries, or she kind of looked at it as like, this is going to be a worldwide thing we need to be responsible for, and was trying to convince everyone at Facebook that mattered.
Right, and they said, nah.
They said, not really.
Yeah.
As long as we're growing our numbers, it doesn't really matter how our behavior is. I haven't really learned. I mean, everything you would possibly assume about Facebook.
It's all confirmation bias,
yes,
or whatever that is. Like, oh yeah.
But it is fun to have little stories about Mark Zuckerberg being a loser. It's just a dweeb. And,
sure.
Well, I've got this book. Is there anything else we need to say about Hunter S. Thompson?
No, I don't think so.
Do you do any prose writing outside of intros to novels?
Well, I mean, I write a lot of the stuff I do.
Sure.
I put out a tour diary book last year through McSweeney's. That was
Oh.
exciting. Yeah. So yeah, I did that every day on tour, and it worked well enough that I sent it to Dave Eggers, and they put it in one of their issues as like a book that you can read.
Oh, lovely.
And on my Patreon for office hours, every Saturday I write a blog.
That's nice.
And I really like it. I really enjoy writing.
Uh-huh.
Some more things in the works, maybe, that are not official, but,
Right. What are you blogging about?
Oh, whatever's in my head, whatever, my trip to the dentist last week, politics, things I'm worried about, if something funny happened in my life that deserves some attention.
Right.
Yeah, and also like, oh, here's this thing I'm working on, and here's a little bit about why I do it, or just a little introspection or whatever.
No, I think that's nice.
Yeah.
Almost journaling.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit like
I
that.
miss blogging. In the late aughts.
Yeah.
The blogging of all of that.
Yeah, I think it feels like it's coming back because everyone's doing Substack.
Yes.
And I don't really I follow like a couple people, but I don't want to go there because that's one of the value benefits of the Patreon.
Yeah, of course.
It's one of my
Yes,
perks.
you've got to have some sort of product.
Something. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And it costs me nothing but time,
Yes.
which is valuable, but I like doing it. I get up on Saturday. It's always Saturday morning, and I get up, and before everyone's up, I have some coffee, and I sit there, and I try to put something out.
Do you give yourself a time limit, or?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I usually eventually have other things to do, so I try to wrap it up. Yeah.
Substacks for me, I feel like I'm ambitious about reading them. I subscribe to them constantly, and then it just becomes this annoying thing in my email.
Yeah.
Then I start feeling guilty, and I don't want to unsubscribe, and I guess that just reflects poorly on me.
Yeah.
I should be reading more, or being more selective about who I'm.
Well,
going
did they
to
do
read.
a thing on there where it like collects them all into like a digest or something?
Oh, that sounds
would be
nice.
a smart thing, like
an app or something that does that.
Yeah, so you're just like it's more of like a magazine experience,
Right.
than reading a bunch of emails, because
Yes.
we don't want to read a bunch of emails.
Getting a long email is an unpleasant thing.
I just got one this morning about my this commercial I'm doing. I'll show you just the email length.
Oh no. Oh
No way. Like, no way.
There's no chance. That's probably 2 printed pages.
There's a lot of numbers in here, times.
I have to imagine that could have
whatever
just
you
been
think.
boiled down to like 4 bulleted points.
Yeah.
That person is wasting their time.
Yeah.
That's a
it's
blog.
like it's a brain dump. It's like you write that separately, and then you'll answer your own questions.
Yeah,
if
just
you
figure
read-
out what
yeah.
you actually have to convey. That's a bad email writer, or that's like almost an old-fashioned type of email.
Yeah, and there's like a couple of question marks at the end. Too many question marks at the end. Are you okay? Calm down. Reset.
Have you responded to it yet?
No.
See, that sort of thing, I would hit snooze on that probably 4 times before I
Right.
got back to it.
Do you want to hear a funny text exchange
I would
between
love.
My mom and me and my wife? Maybe you need a little more context of who we're dealing with here, but let's just pretend. I don't know. We all have moms.
They all have a certain texting style.
Yeah. So this was she's coming. She's in Palm Springs, so she comes to visit us quite a bit.
Right. I met your mom. She's so
At
lovely.
Mark's,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
of course, in Palm Springs. So she's coming for the weekend, and she texts my wife and I yesterday. Okay, we'll come. This okay comes out of nowhere.
Oh, it's like this
Not
is
in the
a
middle.
New, this is a new.
There's a new thread. A new thread.
The okay is a response to something.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come We'll just say we'll come Saturday unless you need me Friday for some reason. Exclamation point, question mark, heart. My wife says, sounds great, thumbs up. My mom says, sorry, did you mean, I'm going to read this as verbatim and then we'll dissect what's
Okay.
actually being said here because there's some typos here.
Okay, sure.
Sorry, did you mean coming, question mark, Saturday, question mark, comes great, or Friday sounds great?
Oh no.
So she then clarifies, oops, was in car doing verbal and didn't understand my accent.
accent?
She speaks like this. I understand my accent. I'll come sat unless hear different. My wife,
So patient.
very patient, says, but this is a little attitude here.
Oh, interesting. She's getting curt.
You said will come Saturday. I said sounds great. Clown face.
Calling your mom a clown.
I know.
You fucking clown.
Yes, she says, yes, I realized that when I reread it. Sorry about that, but I'll see you Saturday. Can't wait to see you. But it was like, we'll come Saturday unless you need me Friday for some reason. Sounds great. Your reaction to that would be, see you Saturday,
Yeah,
right? Like,
of course.
Yeah.
It's it's just a clear, there's not that many options there.
No. Yeah. Anyways, I was just watching all that. I didn't get involved. I did not.
Oh, you were involved, but you were on the text thread.
On the text thread,
so.
No chiming in.
If I open a text thread and there's like more than 3 things going, I just wait for it to simmer back down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer everybody's questions here. If 2 or 3 people are communicating, they'll figure it out, and then I could say the final thing.
For sure.
Or heart something.
Yeah.
I won't do a thumbs up because then it just seems like I was mad the whole time.
People get mad about the thumbs up.
It's a cold response. I don't know, and it's a strange thing that it is because it's just a neutral thing. I don't know. I guess
I think we're too overzealous with the hearts.
Yes.
I say that those things are like conversation enders.
Oh, completely.
Right?
It's like I don't want to say any other thing to you, even if it's a heart.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But the thumbs up.
Got it. It's a got it without being that brusque about it.
Right. Yeah, I think if we just moved back to more thumbs up on everything, less hearts, then the heart would mean more.
You know what drives me nuts? Sorry.
I keep going on that.
Yeah. Well, if you're in a group thread and somebody goes, and if let's say it's a happy birthday.
Sure.
Happy birthday scenario. The person that goes back and then likes all the various
menace.
happy bing bing bing, you're getting all these alerts that this person is going back and liking things.
That's spam.
Yeah, I know.
That's so unfair to everybody.
We assume that you liked, or I mean, maybe we don't. Maybe we should assume that it doesn't matter to you that other people said happy birthday in this thread.
I think it's
not about
latter.
you.
They don't care, and so they're just like checking boxes here.
No, it's real.
Oh, a little check is a decent one they should add on.
My friend, who's also my tour manager when we tour, longtime great friend, his go-to reply is the check mark emoji. Like when things are like clear, final,
right.
Bing, check mark emoji.
That's way better than the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Because I do think a thumbs up in real life is almost always sarcastic. I mean, rarely do you do that meaning well.
Yeah, yeah.
For the check, people love to see a check.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, we solved it.
Solved the issue. And your mom's coming Saturday.
We'll see. She might. It's Friday now. She might be there. She goes, oh, I thought you said. And I want to say to her, this is where I want to come from. Come whenever you want.
Yeah.
Like, we have a little guest house that she has full access to.
Does she have a key?
Yes, she can come and go as she pleases.
Right.
We love to have her.
Of course.
And she's welcome anytime. We don't when the kids were younger, there was more of that feeling of like, can you come and help?
Right. We need your help right now.
We need your help. Now we're kind of like the kids they're older and they can kind of like do their own thing. Mm-hmm. We still have to, we still have to pick them up and do that stuff. But we have lots of so that maybe is feeling there's a little transition there where it's like, it's not so much about the child care, but if you want to come early, come down.
Yeah, I can't imagine she's going to be that much, a trouble.
No, she's not trouble. No.
I think that lines up with my mom's behavior, where you almost have to beg her to do things that are fine.
Yeah, yeah.
She thinks doing normal behavior is overstepping her boundaries.
Right,
She's
right.
like, no, that's fine. And the fact that we've had to ask you, now that's trouble.
Exactly. It's like, did you want me to empty the dishwasher? I'm like,
yeah, it's like,
I don't like. If you want to empty the dishwasher, like that would be it'd be
lovely.
It'd be helpful, sure. But don't ask me if, like, would I rather do it? No. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now we're talking about emptying the dishwasher.
What about me makes you think I would be mad that you emptied the dishwasher?
I know, right? Exactly.
It's like,
yeah.
sweet, sweet people. Absolutely.
Lovely.
Let me ask
Always
you
with the best intentions.
best intentions. I'm curious about your policy on locked doors at your house because my boyfriend is.
This is pretty. Now, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine your audience is full of a bunch of burglars and MS-13 gang members.
We have a very gang-heavy audience.
Yeah.
My boyfriend is very like, even when we're at home, every door needs to be locked at all times.
Oh yeah. I'm not that way. My wife is more that way. I just can't imagine a scenario, but it would certainly happen. I also remember my dad had a body shop, like a tow truck company and that kind of thing in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And so they had this lot that was not fenced or anything, and it was where the cars would be parked, waiting to get service done or waiting to get body shop work done or something.
Right.
And they would get occasionally broken into.
Sure.
And his line was always like, "It's cheaper it doesn't make sense. We will never do it, but it truly would be cheaper just to have the doors open and the windows rolled down."
Right.
Because they're going to get in there.
Yes.
And they just have to. Now we have to pay for the broken window too.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's my thing where I'm like, if we ever get in such an extreme scenario that someone has entered the house while we're here, they're going to do it either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have bad intentions.
Yeah.
Let them in.
Right.
At least it'll be smoother. It'll be less scary.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know where. I guess there's just maybe I'm too carefree.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Maybe a little bit of
I think
both.
it's sure lock them up at night.
Yeah, lock it up at night. I would hope.
Yeah, we lock it up at night. Believe me, folks, we lock it up at night. You're not getting into our house at night.
Do you have alarms?
Yes, we do have an alarm. We have an alarm that
I'm asking all of these questions that
I know.
so suspicious.
Also,
Just say your address on the podcast.
we have alarms that I'm not fastidious about setting.
Okay. See, that's how I am too.
Right. Because then you got to go in there and turn it off.
Right, and I'm always worried that I'll forget to then set it off.
Yeah.
And
We've had the cops come a couple of times.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'll tell you a story about the cops coming.
I would love to hear it.
Now, you said earlier that everybody loves me, right?
Yes, everybody loves you.
That's not true because I have created many enemies on the far right,
Oh, sure.
right? Another big,
you haven't,
big part
then
of,
there's something
big
wrong
part
with
of
you.
your listenership, right? So a few years ago, I went to war with this guy named what's his name? Baked Potato or something. It was one of these, I don't know, it was one of these YouTuber right-wing lunatics who went to the Capitol at January 6th.
Right, gutter scum.
Yeah, bad guy. And he would go around and he would film these live streamers.
Oh,
that would go and
the worst of the worst.
Yeah, and you'd go into like 7-Elevens and like accost people and harass people, and people would like send him money over it was like a game they were playing. It's really kind of fascinating, but also the most disgusting thing. And I called him out. I was saying, I was like, YouTube should not. YouTube was. I was like, why am I using YouTube?
Right.
Right? Like, I love YouTube.
Yes.
But they're also airing this Nazi walking around like abusing people.
The things they're allowing.
Yeah. So of course that makes me come out like a scold and all this. Anyways, I like riled up his crowd. They started coming after me. They were live streaming, like went to my old office and they were like
God.
going. And so I was like really on edge. And the day that they went to my office, we were at home. It was a Sunday. And I was watching this guy, which our office is like 3 miles away. And he was like live streaming out there, like throwing. He was an idiot. And he wasn't like, but it was like, oh God, this guy's like, we should call the cops, like get this guy out of here.
Right, right.
The office was closed. It was a Sunday. And about 10, or maybe like a half hour later, I get a bang, bang, bang on the door.
Oh, my God.
Right? Before that, I asked my wife to make sure that our alarm was on.
Sure.
Right? So I don't hear anything. I said, can you make sure that the alarm, this works? Because there's this guy like 3 miles away. I get a bang, bang, bang on the door. My kids are there. My mom is there.
Oh,
It's Sunday.
Okay.
She's there. I look out the window. We have a little peephole thing. I'm trying to get this order. Correct.
For our baked potato listener.
Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. I say, get the fuck away from the door.
Oh.
Get the fuck away. And they go, it's the police. It's cops. And I'm screaming at them, and they're about to break through the door because I'm acting like...
this is such a dangerous scenario.
I'm like, yeah, this is like a swatting thing.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
They're treating me like I'm barricading my family in the house with a shotgun. They don't know.
Yeah, I know.
And what happened was, and eventually, like, they show their badge. They open the fucking door. I'm like, and I don't know. I'm out of my mind.
Right, of course.
And
How
I think
could you
it's
not
this guy.
be?
And I open the door. They put me. They sit me down. They don't handcuff me, but they sit me down. They have to clear. They have to go in the house, make sure that they get everybody out of the house.
Everybody's safe.
They have to search the house. Helicopters are above.
Oh my God.
And what happened was my wife pressed the panic button on this little fob.
Oh, no.
And then her phone was dead. When they tried to call, which they do, they call, say, is this an emergency? No one answers. And the protocols begin.
Yeah, of course.
And the cops come, and they just assume the worst, that something terrible is happening.
That's
it was so embarrassing.
My nightmare.
But 3 other cop cars come. And then within about, I would say, 30 seconds, the cops started to understand what was going on.
Right.
And I was, they explained it, but it could have been full on.
So badly.
But it did stem from this like true, fear of these lunatics out there.
Right,
but,
totally.
I have to be a little careful about keeping the family safe.
Of course. And let me ask you this about that. Is there like a fine? Do they charge you anything?
They did not. I think that was. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen.
Okay.
I think it might have been there was a warning.
Okay. Don't do this again.
Keep your phone charged. Yeah.
Did you follow that story about the Weezer bassist?
Yeah,
wife?
a little bit. I don't know if we know everything about that story. Do we?
I don't know. All I know is there was a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
And there's footage of one of the suspects in someone's backyard. I don't know if you saw this. Trying to disguise himself as the person living there, and he's hosing down the garden like he's gardening.
Oh, that's smart.
Incredible idea.
Yeah.
And then apparently she came out of the house and was holding a gun.
Because why?
That's the big question. I guess she thought that there was something wrong that she had to defend herself from, and then gets shot. And
the cops come and say, drop the gun?
And she wouldn't drop the gun.
Why wouldn't you drop the gun?
Great question. Bad morning.
Bad morning. Maybe. Was it in the morning?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying this because when I found out it was the morning, it shows a lack of imagination.
Feels like it would have been like in the middle of the night, but I don't know. Maybe.
Well, the footage of the guy hosing down is daytime.
Okay.
Unless this was like a 24-hour
But
period.
she had nothing to do with whatever chase was going on. She's the wrong person, wrong time. Right.
But this woman has led kind of an interesting life because I texted a friend and he said, she was on my storytelling show in 2011. Oh. She was in a harem. So she's got a whole life. She's got a very rich life, this woman. And now she's been shot and is now...
I wonder, I'm trying to think of like the bass player for Weezer. He probably makes a pretty good living.
Sure.
But maybe not as good as you...
Right.
I mean, he's like not he's like a hired gun.
Yeah, he's not the songwriter.
Right. He's not getting publishing.
He could be replaced at any moment.
Yes.
So he probably makes
like a weekly like a salary,
right?
When they're on the road.
Yeah, how does that work for when you are a member of the band? You're on all of the press photos.
Yeah,
you must be contractually something, right?
I would think you're more. I don't know. It's different for every band, from what I could tell. But there are like I remember I heard the Rolling Stones, like the only actual owners is Mick and Keith.
That makes sense.
But if you were the drummer and the bass player, Bill Wyman or Charlie Watts, Ron Wood, you're being paid a salary to be in the Rolling Stones. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't really think about that. You just think everybody's part of the team.
Yeah. All the money gets thrown into the pot in the middle of the table.
Just dive onto
split it up.
Yeah, all I know is that the bass player played Coachella the next day. So
it couldn't be that bad.
Couldn't be that bad.
Do they have kids? That's what I want to know.
I think there was a babysitter outside while this is happening, maybe from another house. I don't know.
Okay.
Again, I should have done a little more research before talking about it publicly.
Yeah.
But these are the things that I kind of
What's
gathered.
the gap between what we're doing now and when this comes out? Do you guys try to keep it tight?
That's a great question. Oh, wait, tentative release June 30th?
Yikes.
That can't possibly be true.
This is going to age like old milk.
There's no way. That's wrong.
wrong.
Okay,
Someone just wrote you a
that's
note.
wrong.
Okay. Oh, they deleted the whole sentence. He's got a monitor here, and they deleted the whole sentence.
They're shutting down the podcast as we speak. The episode will never be released. I imagine it's May-ish.
Right.
Good. Oh, and now they're typing goodbye. So now we're having too much fun. Enough is enough. I think 2 weeks from this will be definitely old news.
Yes.
But hopefully
yes.
we'll have all the facts of the case. Hopefully she'll be out on bail, and maybe she can come
Recovering.
to the podcast.
Yes.
Mrs. Schreiner, reach out.
You know now you know who's the bass player for Weezer.
Well, this is the problem, Tim. I have a very complicated past with Weezer.
You do.
Growing up listening to Weezer, and then I was a real fan through high school. You know, and now just know everything about them forever.
Right.
And so this guy was hired. Maybe he's like
tell you what,
third
man.
player.
I was a big fan of Weezer.
Did you grow up listening to them?
Well, I didn't grow up listening to him. I was in college.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I was a little older.
Right.
So, but I love that Blue album. That first album is so core, so elemental
incredible.
to me. And on tour, the second to last night of tour, we didn't do this a lot, but every once in a while we'd do like music. We'd play music on the bus.
Sure.
After the show, and we'd all sit around and listen to music.
Right.
And second to last night, it was like we're going to listen to the whole Blue album.
Okay.
And everybody, 8 of us, we sat there, blasted it, like we're at the concert, and like sang through the whole record. Everybody knew it. Everyone loved it. And we're like, there's just not a bad song on it. It's like a perfect album.
Yeah. It's one of those rare things, just beginning to end.
Yeah. But but then, if they, as the kids say, they fell off.
I think their first 2 albums are perfect, and then, you can't be great.
The Green album's good.
The Green album's fine.
Yeah.
It's fun enough to listen to, and they've written plenty of fun songs since. But most musicians, the road gets bumpy eventually.
Sure.
Okay, I think we should play a game.
Great.
We're gonna play a game called Gift or a Curse, but I need a number between 1 and 10 from you.
Oh, easily 8.
8. I love that number. I have to do some light calculating to get our game pieces. Right now, you can promote, recommend, do whatever you want. I'll be right back.
You can go check out my music on your streaming services. You can watch Office Hours live on YouTube, or go to patreon.com/Office Hours Live. On cinema is the thing I hold deepest to my heart at the moment as far as my creative output. You could find that on our self-funded subscription-based streaming service, High Network, HEI network.tv. And go Dodgers. I know they've got all the best players. The payroll is extremely high, but it's an important team in the history of baseball. We should support them, even if you're not a fan.
Even if you hate them.
We have to support them.
Get behind the boys.
They are the boys in blue. And our city of Los Angeles suffered tremendous tragedy this year with the fires.
The least you could do is support our baseball
team. Yeah, please
team.
support the Dodgers. Chavez Ravine. Thank you.
Listener, I already told you about Patreon, et cetera, Chicago. Don't forget, don't let us down. Okay, Tim, this is how we play Gift or a Curse. I'm going to name 3 things. You'll tell me if they're a gift or a curse and why. And then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong, because there are correct answers. You can lose the game, you can win the game, you can do fine. This first one is from one of our Patreon listeners, Randall. Gift or a curse, life on Earth.
It's a gift.
Why?
I love it. I love living. I know I love living because I've been in situations where I thought I might die, and it was very upsetting to me. And the older I get, the more I am so disappointed that it comes to an end.
Right.
That it will come to an end, and it's a terrible deal, actually, to think that you will eventually not be around. So with that in mind, it's not always easy, and sometimes it's hard, and not always pleasant, and I wish I didn't have to eat every day. I wish I didn't have to go to the bathroom every 20 minutes.
We've had to stop down the podcast 10 times.
I haven't gone. I mean, I have to go, but I haven't stopped. At the end of the day, it all shakes out to being a gift.
Correct.
Thank you.
I mean,
one for one.
Of course. And I think this is right. With everything going on, it might be the obvious answer might be curse.
Yes, I'm very blessed and lucky. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who feel like it's a curse, but I'm happen to not be one of those people.
Right. I think ultimately there's a gift.
Yeah.
To be completely sincere and honest about this one. How could you not say? Unless, I'm sure we're all having our relatively difficult times with whatever situation, but it's a gift, Randall. How dare you even put this on the list? Forget it. Okay, so you've gotten one correct so far.
That's got to be the easy one.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
This next one is from a listener named Emily. Gift or a curse going to bed with wet hair?
Well, it's neither, but if we're gonna binary this, for me it would be a curse. I don't like that feeling. Yeah. I generally shower in the morning, so it's not really an issue.
Right.
If I was going to shower at night, I would dry my hair best as possible. I don't want to sleep on a wet pillow. Obviously, right?
Wrong. Curse. I mean,
I said curse.
Wait, you said curse?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say wrong gift.
Oh.
I was so excited to tell you were wrong. Unfortunately, I'm on record on this podcast as saying taking a shower at night is a gift. And so I feel like I kind of have to go. This lines up with that. It means you got to take a shower at night, which is lovely.
Shower is such work for me that at the end of the day, or at the end of the night, I'm already in bed. I lie down in bed, I start watching things or listening to things. And the idea of getting up and showering, it's like that's how I start my life. That's how I start my day. My wife takes showers at night, though, so.
It can be, I don't shower at night every night, but it's like a little treat. It feels nice on occasion because there's no utility to it. It's just I'm doing this just because to relax.
Yeah.
Whereas in the morning, I still have endless time during the day, but I have to get things started. I have to actually be clean and go out into the world. Whereas at night, I can get my hair wet and lie down on a pillow and start the mildew growing.
You have very short hair, though.
I have fairly short hair.
Being an issue.
And yours is really long.
Yeah, it's a lot of hair.
I can see why someone might have a problem going to bed with soaking wet hair, but I don't. I think it's a gift. Finally, this is from a listener named Joanne. Gift or a curse using a kitchen knife to open a box?
Well, I'll say I'll just have to, again, it's right down the middle. It's not ideal. It's not the end of the world. It's probably what I do half the time, like a steak knife, not
that's
like
what
a butter
I'm picturing, not a bread knife.
Yeah, you do it. You throw it in the sink, throw it in the dishwasher. If you really, why not? It's probably fine. So I'd say it's a gift because it's convenient. You're not searching around for like one of those utility knives or something. What
is that, a X-Acto?
X-Acto. Exactly.
Thank you. Correct. Gift. What else? What else is anybody using to open a box? This is the only knife This is the only knife I own.
Yeah, these are my day-to-day knives. You can take a scissor and open it up and just.
Right. I don't mind the scissor.
Yeah.
But even then, that is a trip to the junk drawer.
Right.
And my knives are just there on the counter.
Exactly.
And there's kind of a danger, kind of a thrill. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think
mildly,
it's a gift.
mild
thrill. Well, you have to look for mild thrills. Well, you got 2 out of 3.
Great.
Not absolutely horrible.
No, that's pretty good.
Decent. Well, I think we should answer a listener question. People are sending in the voice notes, the emails to isaidnogifts@gmail.com. Could we play one of those?
Hi, Bridger and scurrilous guest. I think that's a word. I am calling in because I have a query for you. I still have my ex-husband's last name, but I would like to change it before I have a baby, and I don't know what to change it to. My maiden name doesn't quite feel right anymore, and I need some suggestions for what my new last name should be. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.
I'm starting to get why this marriage didn't work out.
This person needs a new last name, and they've turned to us.
Well, and also, what's wrong with the original? Go back to your original last name.
I guess she's a new person. She's found a new chapter.
Well, here's the things. These are the unknowns. We don't know her first name, do we?
No, not as much. She didn't mention it.
So what are we doing? What are we working? We're working with. We're in the dark.
Vacuum.
We're working in the dark.
What would you change your last name to?
I wouldn't change my last name. I'm not. Look, I don't care about. I don't have any tattoos. I don't have any piercings. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care about my identity. You want to call me a woman? I don't care.
But I bet
I'm a
40
man.
years ago,
I happen to be a man who gives a shit.
I bet 40 years ago, you and I would have both had to change our last names for show business.
Ah, yes. Too
Difficult
ethnic.
names.
Tim Heidecker. I never loved that name.
Winegar is a hard name to pronounce or spell.
Yeah, your name's a burden.
It's a mess.
Yeah, Tim Miller.
That's a nice name. It's a safe guy.
Tim Jones.
Tim Jones. Miller Jones are both nice last names that this person could take on.
That's my Miller's my my grandmother's maiden name. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's a nice name. Why not? I mean, this.
There is a Tim Miller who's like a political. He's a political guy.
Good or bad?
He's good. He was like a Republican who's gone anti-Trump.
Good for him.
Who's gay.
Wow.
You like when I say gay now?
Complicated.
Gay. It's like when my dad would say, like, this guy's actually gay. But he's like, but it's not bad. He's not bad.
He's a nice enough guy.
Yeah. He's a really nice guy.
Wouldn't want to hang out with him. Miller.
Tim Miller, yeah.
Tim Miller. That's a nice last name. Obviously, Winegar or Heidecker is a name she could take on.
I guess. Again, not knowing the first name is criminal.
It's a huge mystery.
How can we find out? Is there an email from this person?
Actually, I can. Let's see here. I forwarded the email earlier.
Yeah, I'm hung up on this now. I just think because if you had a first name, we could work with that. We could play around with some ideas.
Sarah Jane. That's the name.
Sarah Jane?
Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane Carter.
Sarah Jane Carter. That's a nice. That seems almost Little House.
Yes, Ingalls. We could do Sarah Jane
Ingalls.
Ingalls.
That's great.
You don't want to do who's the
Nellie Olson.
You don't. Yeah, Sarah Jane Olsen.
Yeah, you don't want to be part of the Olsen family.
No. I think Sarah Jane Potter, Sarah Jane Carter, Sarah Jane Miller would work. Sarah Jane Cruz. I don't like that.
Cruz is a made-up last name, isn't it? Tom Cruise?
See,
that's not his real last name.
I think it is his real name, but I don't really know.
No, I think he has like kind of a strange, like a last name that's hard to spell. Or
oh, really? I don't know that.
Now I'm going to look it up because now I'm embarrassed. Let's see. Tom Cruise is...
There should be a law that podcasts aren't allowed to look things up.
Everything just has to be kind of sent out into the public, not checked. His middle name is Cruz. His last name is Mopather.
Oh, wow. That is a mess.
And he's the fourth.
Wow.
Well, then Sarah Jane Cruz Mapother the fourth. There we go. See, how would you pronounce Mapother?
Mapother.
Mopather?
Yeah.
I can see why you got rid of that. Sarah Jane, we've given you several options, I feel like.
Yeah. We've done our due diligence.
S. Thompson. I'm just looking around the room. Sarah Jane Thompson.
Sarah Jane Thompson's nice.
It is nice. That's a strong name.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'll say. Find a name that people can immediately identify and spell and pronounce.
Yeah.
Don't curse yourself with some difficult thing.
Oh, yes. I mean, I do a lot of casting with this in this commercial world. I'm the epidemic that is occurring. Forget all the stuff that RFK Jr. is talking about. The epidemic of names of young people now.
What are you hearing?
Bryson and I can't. I don't. You don't remember them because they're not. They're unfamiliar to you.
Well,
Braden, Brishan.
You're talking to a Bridger, which
that's true.
To be fair, I can't really say much.
There's way worse ones, and people know what I'm talking about.
I think Utah and Utah culture is kind of the ground zero for a lot of these names. Famously, there are a lot of creative names coming out of Utah for whatever reason.
Oh, I wish I could remember these names. I saw like 100 of them. Like, this is just such a burden for these kids.
Right.
As they get older, they're going to have to get... What is that again? Aberrano?
My sister was a NICU nurse, and the names that she was coming across...
NICU nurse?
Yeah, like Neo...
Oh, God. I thought you said her name is NICU nurse.
My sister, NICU nurse.
I've never heard that one.
The name she would provide... There was somebody named Americus. Someone named their daughter Americus, which...
I don't like it.
don't love to hear.
And now let me just retract and say, I love a big, beautiful, diverse world. And
Of course, and names are just sounds and
Yes,
they're stupid made-up words. But some are way more stupid than others, I would say.
In our opinion.
In my opinion.
What's
and they're ultimately
Tom,
beautiful.
Dick, and Harry. Tom, Dick, and Harry.
What happened to Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Jane, Sally, Jane, Sue, Mary.
Joe.
Those are the 4 names you could choose from. That's it. At the hospital when you have a baby, you should have like 8 names to choose from.
It's like picking a license plate or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we answered the question perfectly. Sarah Jane, good luck. Don't send another thing back in. I can't hear back from you. Tim, I have this lovely book to put on my bookshelf now. I'll read at least your intro.
Yes.
And we'll see how I feel about that and see where I go from there. And I've had a lovely time with you.
It was great.
Thank you for
real
being
pleasure.
here.
Thank you for having me.
Listener, the podcast is over. You obviously knew this was going to happen. Hopefully you did. Otherwise, this is coming out of nowhere for you, and I don't know what to tell you. Get moving. I love you. Goodbye.